Hi, Sebastian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Very good.
Good.
And
You've
you?
got a busy few weeks ahead of you, haven't you, with winding down to the end of the season?
Yes, so I'm currently in the UK where my Formula E team is based, and we are currently doing some preparation for Jakarta in Indonesia. Mm-hmm. We have a race there a double weekend, let's say, there next week. And then I will fly back to Europe for the 24 hours of Le Mans with my different duties that I have with Toyota in endurance racing. So yeah, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks.
Yes, very busy. So Formula E came into your career, and now you're sponsored by Maxon, actually a Swiss driver being sponsored by a Swiss-based company. Maxon obviously develop and design DC motors, really high-end DC motors in multiple different sectors. How does that feel now that you're actually sponsored by a Swiss-based company and a Swiss-based driver?
Yeah, I actually enjoy very much, obviously, being an ambassador for Maxon. It's an amazing company. When you imagine the Swiss kind of company, that's the way I imagine it. The place where they are located is beautiful, with the mountains around. And obviously the know-how is pretty impressive. I mean, I have a funny story to explain, is that obviously we started the relationship and I had a failure on my race car. I think that was a few years ago. And it was a water pump. The motor of the water pump did not start. And obviously the battery became too hot, and then I had to retire. And my team said, okay, we're going to change it, and we're going to go with the best. And okay, I'm not going to mention the other brand that I used to have on the car. And then once I was just behind one of the engineers, and I saw Max he was on the internet page, on the shop actually. And then I said, yeah, but do you know that it's my partner? And he couldn't believe it, because basically they didn't know, that engineer in particular didn't know I was working with Maxon, and they were basically ordering a small pump there to try to obviously improve the car. And since then, it's been on my racing car.
Well, the same one.
So that's how we, yeah. Yeah, obviously, maybe a new one, but that was in my previous team. Obviously, I've changed team last season, but it's been on the car then, yeah.
You mentioned there that you're an ambassador for Maxon. What does that involve? What do you get involved with in terms of projects throughout your racing year?
Yeah, so basically, it's been quite a few years now, but we went through the pandemic and we couldn't do many events. But mainly, I attend a lot of kind of events. We do some marketing, and I go and get to know the people that works for Maxon. I met some people in Mexico. I went to the Boston facility. I met some people in Seoul. So I get to meet Maxon employees all around the world, and obviously communicating about the brand. And I feel like obviously partnering with a Swiss company in Formula E is a great platform to improve, let's say, the name worldwide, to get more people to know about it and get people to discover what Maxon actually produces.
You mentioned previously about the car part that they put into your car. What's the experience of these parts in, again, going back to kind of the Formula One type, combustion engine cars and the other formulas in those series compared to an e-vehicle? I mean, do you think e-racing is more sustainable because of the parts last longer, or is there a price cap like there is with Formula One? How does that work?
Yeah, in Formula E, we have a budget cap. Similar to what Formula One has. So obviously that's the only way that the FIA in motorsport found to obviously keep the budget under control. So clearly it's a very complex way of policing and obviously making sure everyone is following the rules. But yeah, I mean, the electric motors, as you can imagine, we can go for a very long time without changing them. I mean, if everything goes well, I'm not going to change the motor, the inverters on my car for the entire season, which is obviously not the case in Formula One. Formula One, they will need 3, 4, 5 engines if everything goes well. So, of course, in that kind of aspect, we are a lot more sustainable, and the efficiency of an electric motor is obviously extremely high. So, I'm really happy to be part of Formula E, to be teaming up with Maxon, and obviously to see the evolution, I would say, of the championship. We used to race with 2 cars, heavier cars, half of the power we have now. And now we do the entire race just with 1 car, with double the power, 80 kilos lighter. So you see how much the evolution of the batteries and the efficiencies that we have with it is going. It's impressive, and it will keep getting better in the next few years.
Thanks very much, Sébastien.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Take care.